colors of nature. I perceive all the treasures of treasure. Just like the leaves that sway in wind, joy comes to be to those who live as one. When I hear all the music around me, as the breeze of the heavens surround me, just like the bees that bring the honey, we'll be free if only we are one. Forget the I, we are bound together, never come undone. If we just try, we can stay forever, ever, woman. Let there be us. We belong and coexist together, no matter where we're coming from. Like Sister Moon and Brother Sun, we'll solve the gloom as long as we are one. When I feel my heart beating inside me, I am still, for I know it will guide me. Just like the humming of the drums, a new world starts when heart can beat as one. Forget the I, we are bound together, never can undone. If we just try, we can stay forever, ever, woman, come. Let there be us. We belong and coexist together, no matter where we're coming from. Like Sister Moon and Brother Sun, we'll stop the gloom as long as we are one. When I see all the colors of nature, I perceive all the treasures to treasure. Just like the leaves that sway in wind, joy comes to be to those who live as one. When I hear all the music around me, as the breeze of the heavens surround me, just like the bees that bring the honey, we'll be free if only we are one. Forget the I, we are bound together, never can undone. If we just try, we can stay forever, ever, woman, come. Let there be us. We belong and coexist together, no matter where we're coming from. Like Sister Moon and Brother Sun, we'll stop the gloom as long as we are one. Like Sister Moon and Brother Sun, we'll stop the gloom as long as we are one. Like Sister Moon and Brother Sun, we'll stop the gloom as long as we are one. Like Sister Moon and Brother Sun, we'll stop the gloom as long as we are one.
So we have started with the Guruji-san, Dileepkumar Thankappan is a global chairman of the World Yoga Community. which is an NGO associated with the United Nations Department of Global Communication. Guruji,
Yeah,
are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's start with the prayer, right?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Om Loga Samasta Sugino Bhavantu Loga Samasta Sugino Bhavantu Loga Samasta Sugino Bhavantu Om Shanti 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 Om Tasat. Namaste everyone. Happy World Interfaith Harmony Week. This is our auspicious week. We all celebrate World Interfaith Harmony Week. I like to welcome and same time congratulate our Heiwa Peace and Reconciliation Foundation of New York and the founder and the trustees, Reverend Dr. T.K. Nakagaki and James Lynch, and all the advisors and board members and the religious leaders and performers. It's my happy and pleasure to host this event with TK.
Sure.
I have to bring the history of the World Interfaith Harmony Week. It is an annual event observed during the first week of February after General Assembly designation in 2010. The General Assembly pointed out that mutual understanding and inter-religious dialogue constitute important dimensions of a culture of peace and established World Interfaith Harmony Week as a way to promote harmony between all people regardless of their faith. Recognizing the imperative need for dialogue among different faiths and religions to enhance mutual understanding, harmony, and cooperation among people, the General Assembly encourages all states to spread the message of interfaith harmony and goodwill in the world's churches, mosques, synagogues, temples, and other places of worship during that week on a voluntary basis and according to their own religious traditions or convictions. The UN resolution on the World Interfaith Harmony Week states the General Assembly, recalling its resolution 53/243 of 6 October 1999 on the Declaration and Program of Action related to a culture of peace, 57/6 of November 2002 concerning the promotion of a culture of peace and non-violence, 58/128 of 19 December 2003 on the promotion of religious and cultural understanding, harmony, and cooperation, 64/164 of 18 December 2009 on the elimination of all forms of intolerance and discrimination based on religion, on belief, 64/81 of 7 December 2009 on the promotion of interreligious and intercultural dialogue, understanding, and cooperation of peace, and 64/14 of 10 November 2009 on the Alliance of Civilizations. Recognizing the imperative need for dialogue among different faiths and religions in enhancing mutual understanding, harmony, and cooperation among people. Recalling with appreciation various global, regional, and sub-regional initiatives on mutual understanding and interfaith harmony, including Inter Alia, the tripartite forum for interfaith cooperation for peace and a common world. Recognizing that the moral imperatives of all religions, convictions, and beliefs call for peace, tolerance, and mutual understanding. 1. Reaffirming that mutual understanding and interreligious dialogue constitute important dimensions of a culture of peace. 2. Proclaims the first week of February of every year the World Interfaith Harmony Week between all religions, faith, and beliefs. 3. Encourages all states to support on a voluntary basis the spread of the message of interfaith harmony and goodwill in the world's churches, mosques, synagogues, temples, and other places of worship during that week, based on love of God and love of the neighbor, or based on love of the good and love of the neighbor, each according to their own religious traditions or convictions. or request the Secretary General to keep the General Assembly informed of the implementation of the present resolution. This is the third day we are putting the program. It is going to happen 28th day, the last day, February 28th. We'll have our annual Interfaith Festival. We all will gather and celebrate our existence as a spiritual being. Here again, I want to welcome and congratulate our Reverend Dr. T.K. Nakagaki, the founder and today's leader in this program, Reverend Dr. T.K. Nakagaki.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. I'll take over. Yeah, Guruji, thank you so much. So I will also begin with a short silent meditation, and at the same time, you can, if you liked who I am, this is written here, so you can read that too. But please relax yourself, sit with your back straight and relax, and calm down your mind and breathe in and out slowly and deeply using your lower stomach. Yeah, thank you very much, and welcome to the our UN Interfaith Harmony Week program. And thanks for the Guruji, for providing here for this opportunity. And then I believe this itself is a cooperation of the different religious traditions. And then this program itself is actually not only the my organization, Heiwa, Peace and Reconciliation Foundation, New York, but also all the speakers have a different people are joining, and from the especially Sanghakaya, first music that you heard is a Sanghakaya Foundation, and they have Sanghakaya Art and Cultural Department, and the song that you heard is called "We Are One" and dedicate to all religions. So it's actually very appropriate to begin with our gathering. So we have also International Buddhist Association, International Buddhist Education Center, the later Pia, who will be giving speeches, but also we're sort of working together, and then the many different organizations we're going to introduce later, but in the program at the very end. But then the various other organizations such as Buddhist Council of New York, Interfaith Center of New York, Interfaith Center of the USA. I don't know, I don't want to miss anybody, but right now I don't have a notes right here, so I just wanted to introduce later. But so many of the organization has been helping to organize this. So it is already interfaith efforts, and then we are practicing the harmony of the interfaith gathering that we have. So I'm very grateful for the many people came today, and then I hope everybody is okay to be able to jump in because we have like 20 people joining us today. And but one thing I just wanted to even show it before at the very beginning. So today's dedication, yeah, we have some what do you call it? Would like to dedicate this particular event to a certain individual or the two individuals that we have. And actually, one is the Most Reverend Desmond Tutu, who recently passed away. He was passed away December 26 last year. And then Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh, who passed away January 22nd this year. And so those two are very, very active and practice really bringing the harmony, peace together. So we would like to dedicate here for this particular event that we have. And I think it's probably appropriate to have show our respect to them as well. And so this title that we have today is Transforming Bias, Discrimination, and Violence into Harmony, Respect, and Peace through Interfaith Dialogue. So that's the one sort of the theme that I have here, that we have here today for the UN World Interfaith Harmony Week 2022. Because I know UN used to have one big what do you call it, the theme, but then it seems like everybody can create their own theme. So this is our theme for today, and I believe Desmond Tutu and Thich Nhat Hanh, they both are practicing this kind of the transformation. You know, maybe a lot of people are influenced by them, and they have experience of transforming even their thoughts and everything too. So it is very, very important to have them to be here on this occasion to show our respect. So one thing that I just wanted to mention is, you know, historically for the interfaith, maybe started between like Jewish and then Christians. Then later, Abrahamic tradition, including Muslims, and now interfaith includes all the major religions, such as Buddhism, Hinduism, Jainism, Sikhism, Shintoism, Zoroastrians, and Native Americans, and so forth. You know, you can name it. But then the interfaith becomes so basically all kinds of religious faith and belief today. And so it means also this gathering interfaith is not only for Abrahamic tradition, but a Dharmic tradition, East or West, South, and North, I guess. So everybody's sort of like together doing this. And then each tradition need to be equally respected. So it is acceptance of other religions and cultures. So as the world is getting smaller and smaller by the technology, like here we are using pretty much the technology today. So that's why we are able to do this kind of things. So the world is getting so much smaller, right, from that sense. And we realize the existence of all various religions in this world and how we live together and in this society is a big question. So this particular title, the pick, Transforming Bias, Discrimination, Violence, is the first of all, this bias, discrimination, violence was also the part of the products that probably sometime before in a history, religion created those, bias too. Bias from the one side of the religion to the others and so forth. And then that creates some of the discrimination. Sometimes they even, they encourage the violence sometimes and all those things. But then how can we transform all those things? And then now we're working on the harmony, respect, and the creating peace among us. So in a way, we learn from some of the things that happened in the past, and then we just try to kind of transform the meaning of what we are practicing. And so I think that's I believe that's a great theme. And then those two individuals, the Desmond Tutu, the Reverend Archbishop Desmond Tutu, and then Reverend Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh. So they show, they promote peace and peaceful harmony, like this theme. So they transform all those bias, discrimination, violence into harmony, respect, and peace through their practice of interfaith or interfaith dialogues. So again, I just wanted to welcome everyone to join us today. And we have a lot of challenges, but then, we're growing, growing up the babies, getting youth or adults, more things that we can do for the interface too. So let's see what we can do together. And thank you again for this opportunity. And today we have many speakers, but I'm hoping that everybody's here somehow. Yeah. And then for this part, the time is very limited too, so we wanted to just quickly goes. And then the first I would like to introduce Milind Kishor Ukey. So he'll be the moderating the rest of the part of the things. And so I just wanted to welcome him, and at the same time I wanted to show who he is, and that's the let me share the screen with this background too. Sorry. Okay, so just wanted to show his face. And that, I mean, of course, he will be showing up. I hope you're ready now. And also for during this time, the bell will be rang by James helping me, and to when the speakers went to the 4 minutes, and then if you 5 minutes, and then will be another bell, 2 bells, and then if it's over time, then it will be the big bell. So yeah, but be mindful, and I hope this is not creating difficulties, but rather everybody has an equal time, and so that's what it is. So thank you very much. And then Milind, can you take over from here?
Thank you. Yes, thank you so
Thank
much, Venerable, and it was really a very, very vibrant beginning. I welcome all the gurus, teachers, and the spiritual leaders once again, and I get this great opportunity to moderate, to conduct this meeting. So I will be now before calling upon the first speaker for this evening. So first I want to say good morning, good evening, hallelujah, assalamu alaikum, namo buddhaya, namo renge kyo, and sat sri akal. And I want to greet everyone, and really wish my best of the wishes for this Harmony Week, and we should be able to create this vibrance. The few good people only can create the great causes for this planet to survive for the eternity. So I would like to first invite our first speaker, Reverend Dr. Breyer, but I think he's not. He's not there. So I will switch over to the next speaker. Speaker will be James A. Lynch Jr. is a Dharma teacher, as authorized by the lay Buddhist organization Risho Keisi. So as you have seen that, I request Reverend James A. Lynch to please take over.
Thank you so much. Good morning, good evening, everyone. First, I want to thank Reverend Dr. T.K. Nakagaki of the Peace and Reconciliation Foundation of New York. I also want to thank Guruji. I think that, we have to really, in this time of great difficulty, thank them for their tremendous life condition of focusing on the good in a time of global pandemic, threats at home to liberties at home and abroad. They are in effect a great lighthouse. This is the term I use all the time, but they truly are lighthouses that help to bring all of humanity to the shore of peace and reconciliation during this time of great change. I have a few just total notes that were very quickly done when I was praying this morning, preparing for this, and the theme was transforming bias, discrimination, violence into harmony, respect, and peace through interfaith dialogue. I really am appreciative of Venerable Nakagaki and Guruji coming up with this wonderful theme, because a lot of times Interfaith Harmony Week seems to be a daunting task, right? We have inter-religious violence, sometimes interscene violence between even our own groups. But at the same time, while it is daunting, we often forget that the very nature of our human existence, which is the search for joy and happiness of humanity, is easy. In a sense, if we give rise, I wrote down the understanding that people shall approach their happiness from the viewpoint that suits them best, then it's perfectly understandable why we have various faith traditions. Christians, Muslims, Jews, Zoroastrians, Hindus, Sikhs, and people of all faiths and even agnostics and atheists' paths, when we understand they're trying to search for their happiness, are worthy of deep respect because they're trying to reveal the greatness of human life. So as long as we don't have an overly biased view, in my opinion, that our way is the most valuable, we can see this essential point about our shared humanity, and that we will, as the song said in the beginning, we are one. Finally, I wanted to say this point before I say the brief prayer. I believe that this idea that we are one accords very deeply with the greatest wish of the Buddha, and is hope that we are consciously aware of our interconnectedness to the great life of the universe. And so I'm going to read a prayer that the Dalai Lama has used from Shantideva. Shantideva's way of the Bodhisattva. Who is a Bodhisattva? Under the Lotus Sutra, all people, whether they know it or not, when they are trying to progress on the path of happiness and compassion, are all on the path of the Bodhisattva. And so the label isn't significant, but your life is. And so I give this prayer to you. May all beings everywhere plagued by suffering of body and mind obtain an ocean of happiness and joy by virtue of their merits. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled with a mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms and the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored on finding repose. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food. May the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, those weak in sorrow find joy. May the forlorn find hope, constant happiness and prosperity. May there be timely rains and bountiful harvests. May all medicines be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their ailments. Whatever diseases there are in the world, may they never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid and those bound to be free. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting each other. For as long as space remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, until then, may we too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Reverend James B. So I will request the next speaker, Rabbi Dr. Joe David, who's affiliated with the Academy for the Jewish Religion and a founder and leader of the Bible Explorer, a weekly interfaith group that studies the sacred text in the depth. So I request Dr. Joe David. Thank you so much. Okay.
And brothers, as we sit in community around our Zoom table, I would like to share a few words about bread. In Genesis chapter 18, the patriarch Abraham is sitting at the entrance of his tent when he notices 3 men approaching. He runs to greet them and invites them to partake of his hospitality. He offers them water to drink and a shady area in which to rest. Then he says, "Please let me fetch a morsel of bread that you may refresh yourselves." This is one of the earliest incidents in the Tanakh, the Hebrew Bible, that demonstrates the concept of breaking bread as a sign of a peaceful welcome. Bread looms large in Jewish tradition. For Jews of Eastern European background especially, challah, a braided white bread made with sugar and eggs, is a centerpiece of the Sabbath dinner on Friday night. There is a unique ceremony for serving bread on Shabbat. On Friday night at 18 minutes before sundown, the Sabbath candles are lit. Next, a special prayer for wine is offered, and ritual hand washing, during which talking is avoided, follows. Finally, everyone sits down at the dinner table. The challah, which is covered, has pride of place on the table. The cover is removed and the bread is blessed. And you may ask, why is the challah covered? Tradition teaches that the challah is covered so that its feelings are not hurt when the blessing of the wine is said. We cover the challah to spare its feelings. We cover it so that the challah won't feel slighted by being blessed last. When teaching this tradition to people who are unfamiliar with it, there is always someone who says, that's ridiculous, it's bread, it doesn't have feelings. The teaching response is very simple. You're right. But if we show concern for the bread which cannot feel, how much more so should we always be concerned with the feelings of people who can and do respond to our words and actions? We live, as we all know, in extremely difficult times, difficult to endure and difficult to navigate. Many of us gathered here are engaged in the work of tikkun olam, the repairing of the world. It is common for us to focus on the actions that this work entails. But how much focus do we place on unsettled or negative feelings that our actions may unintentionally stimulate? My prayer for today is that we always keep in the forefront of our minds the parable of the wine and the challah. May we be supported by the divine in treating gently the feelings of those to whom we would bring caring and comfort. May we be granted strength and health in our sacred work to bring about a world in which all can live in health, security, and peace. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Joe David, Doctor. Now, this is very important, understanding of Honorable Imam Muhammad Shahidullah, who's interfaith leader, media personality, community organizer, human rights activist, actively involved in the mainstream social culture that is affecting the Muslim community in New York, USA. He's the president of the Interfaith Center in USA. So, Honorable Imam Muhammad Shahidullah, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, all faith leaders, clergy, and those are listening and watching our program through social media. Welcome to World Interfaith Harmony Week, and UN official observes, and every year we celebrate, the first week of February, this Interfaith Harmony Week. This year, the topics, the transforming bios, discrimination and violence into harmony, respect and peace through interfaith dialogue. This program specially, the dedicated to our, the two interfaith advocate, Reverend Desmond Tutu and Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh. I want to say special thanks on behalf of Interfaith Center of USA to the Buddhist Council of New York and the Heiwa Peace and Reconciliation Foundation. First, I want to recite like the verse from the Holy Quran, and then inshallah, I'm going to be talk a little bit, about like how we're going to be work in our community in the root level with harmony with our interfaith clergy group. How is like work in the especially like the COVID time, what we did, in our community. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Our Creator, the Allah mentioned in the Holy Quran, and all are Muslim. We recite every day more than 30 times this verse in our prayer, and we praise our Creator, and we asking the how this work in our life and how we're going to be prepared for the hereafter. And now I'm going to be share like a few things like as a the community and young interfaith leader, how we work in our community, especially in the Queens, this we have very good relation, all the faith youth leaders and the interfaith leaders, especially in the COVID time. We faced a lot of challenges, on the beginning, the how we're going to be do like the funeral and the burial, and like the mayor office to like all the health department and other department, they're asking the solution, the how we can do properly, and then how it's worked. And that time, our all faith leader, we try to communicate like the other faith leader as well in the Queens, and we try to find out the solution. This is one of the great example, the interfaith community work for like, the humanity, interfaith community leaders work for like the humankind. And then we try to distribute like the food, and we try to give like a lot of like the tele counseling. More than 5,000 call we received on the beginning of the first 3 months in the COVID time. The after 2019 December, like the February, March, April, May, the first 3 or 4 months we receive a lot of call, and the people are like a little bit hopeless, and then they try to asking like the different type of healing, and like asking the pray because the problem the our my observation and my comments, and like this week we celebrate every year this week, but what is like the outcome and how we can execute in my life, in my family, in my community? What is actually the message from like the interfaith weeks? And that's why we share the something what we did. And I want to say thank you all the faith leader, and inshallah thus we'll work together, we'll try to build like the interfaith harmony in our community, and hopefully we'll do better. Thank you so much, all faith leaders.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Honorable Imam. And it is wonderful, plan of action, how actually we can really conduct, interfaith in our community has been so well explained from your side. Next, speaker. Thank you so much for showing this slide. So Cicely Greaves, she is studying the Brahma Kumari's Raj Yoga meditation for last 7 years and is an active student. And for your information, the Brahma Kumari is Indian tradition of meditation and spirituality. So not many people know about it, but I'm sure Cecil will brief about her traditions as well as about the interfaith. Thank you so much. Please, Cecil Greaves. Thank you so much.
Hello, greetings and welcome to everybody, and Om Shanti. Yes, I've been practicing. I hope you can hear me well. I've been practicing. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. Right. So I've been practicing Raj Yoga meditation for 8-9 years now. And what we practice is that we are souls. We're all equally souls. And I will continue and talk about what it is that we do and tie it all in regards to the topic. So what is bias? It's an inclination or prejudice for or against one person or group, especially in a way considered to be unfair. So now, how do we transform the biases that we have? I heard many great ways that was mentioned. James Lynch said that we must have regard for all, even souls who are searching for their way to the truth, and may then be guided to the light. I'm ad-libbing there. And Joe David said, shall we look to the divine? See, that's the key. When we go beyond ourselves and connect to source, that's what we teach in Brahma Kumaris, that we are all equals, we are souls, and we connect to the divine, then we see each other as that. Discrimination and violence all fall under the category of biases. When we see each other as equals, and what is that equal? Again, we are souls, spirits. As we identify with each other as bodies, then we begin to look at color, class, creed, etc. We work from a space of what we call in the Brahma Kumaris body consciousness. We only identify with that. So this has to be the transformation. Please join me for a moment of silence as we connect to the awareness of I, the soul, that infinite being of peace, love, and purity. So if you could join me for a moment of silence now in your prayer or meditation, please join me. Om Shanti. The Brahma Kumaris has dedicated their mission to having ongoing dialogue on the topic of harmony, respect, and peace through interfaith dialogue. And just to finish my talk, every day we have a wonderful lesson. And the lesson comes with an essence, it comes with 2 questions, it comes with the blessing and slogan and also. So I'm going to read you the slogan from today's message. Make your attitude powerful and service will automatically expand. To me, that means service will expand in a way where we will see the one truth in all that we seek for and bring together that true harmony, respect, and peace that we all seek. We connect with Allah, we connect with God, we connect with the divine, the supreme soul, and all our problems will be resolved. Om Shanti, and thank you for having me here.
Our first speaker, Reverend Dr. Chloe Breyer, he is here, and he is directed the Interfaith Center of the New York since 2007 and worked with hundreds of the grassroots religious leaders from the diverse faith tradition to catalyze the partnerships with the civic officials and the various organizations. So I call upon Doctor, please take over. Thank you so much.
Good day and a very happy Interfaith Harmony Week to everyone. Thank you to the Reverend T.K. Nakagaki for his tireless work on this topic, not just this week, but so many weeks around the year. I'm honored to bring greetings from New York City and also wish to share a kind of vision of harmony, which sometimes is a little bit different from often what we think of as harmony. I think as New Yorkers, we're known to be, a somewhat opinionated group, and that from the perspective of the Interfaith Center of New York, we often define harmony among faiths as cooperative activity among faiths. We don't seek to disguise the fact that many of our beliefs are very different and that there are genuine differences of outlook and of beliefs and also behaviors. And as such, we sometimes need to spend more time accepting those differences, even when it means that we have a hard time, even when it means it sometimes makes us a little bit uncomfortable. And so at the Interfaith Center of New York, I think we put on our hat as citizens, as fellow New Yorkers. We find those points of commonality and say, well, whatever we believe, we still share this beautiful city of ours, and we must, for its good and for the good of one another, work together. And I think that whether it be around very mundane issues such as, fixing healthcare or ensuring the rights of the poorest among us, or making sure that our city is reforming when it comes to criminal justice, or what is it that we can do to protect our neighborhoods so that we all feel safe. Those are things which are often characterized as not particularly religious concerns, but they matter to us as whole human beings. And I think that for that reason, we seek to embrace our common citizenship in a growing and thriving and working democracy as another point of commonality, which can truly bring a deep kind of harmony among the peoples of the earth. So thank you for that. And I conclude with those remarks.
Thank you so much. And it was really very important that we should really focus on rather the difference, the global citizenship and the true human, behavior to each other. And so I once again request that this program is going on live on the Facebook, so people can watch this program the live, and the address will be shown. Yes, Reverend, the address can be shown on which address link it is going on. Meanwhile, this is a small musical break, as he say that the spirituality can also be transferred of heart to heart to the music. So I will now request Lulla, LayLa for the beautiful song KaTaKaMuNa. So there, Lulla, LayLa is a Japanese singer, songwriter, and the composer from Tokyo, and she has earlier performed to the various programs all over the world. And from 2000 to 2019, her creative home was New York City.
So yeah, today her music is actually the word itself is ancient words, she said, and then so that's the my microphone is on. Yeah, hope. And so she'll be this is kind of like a meditative music, but actually the meaning is oneness of all universe, human together. So that's the kind of appropriate for the interfaith, and we'll all the faiths together, all the peoples together, and so that's the one that that we will share. I mean, her song. So please enjoy, and at the same time, maybe you can meditate and listen to at the same time.
He who
Thank you so much for this wonderful song, though we didn't understand the wordings, but it was very soulful and it could touch our heart and we could understand the spiritual atmosphere to this beautiful music. So moving on to the next speaker, Venerable Dr. Sobhita is a founder and principal of the International Buddhist Education Center and professor rector of the Chicago Buddhist University. He's a spiritual Buddhist monk as well as the great social worker, humanitarian and peacemaker. Venerable, please.
Hello, everybody. Greeted from International Buddhist Education Center, Myanmar, the Netherlands, and the Nepal. I'm just now arrived at the Netherlands here. The last 5 days ago in Southeast Asia, Myanmar. As you know about the Myanmar situation, very the big challenges. We all are the interfaith harmony day. We must be the praise for the Myanmar. Yeah, this is just information. I sincerely express my happy thanks to the Buddhist Councils of the New York, the Heiwa Peace and Reconciliation Foundations of the New York, the Interfaith Centers of the New York, USA, the International Buddhist Sattva's Sangha Organization, the New York State Councils of the Church, and the Sanghakaya Foundation in India, the one the Buddhist United Nations Interfaith in the world Yoga's community. I really appreciated that you are the journey in the you are the participated the all interfaith the harmonious day. Especially the spiritual leader Desmond Tutu and the Reverend Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh passed away in this world. We are very sorry that these events they are the negotiated persons in our spiritual world. Today was interfaith harmony. We call the United Nations. 2021-2022 have been the years of the global crisis. Not only the evidence in the rise of the COVID-19 pandemic, including the Omicron, especially the Omicron spread the European in the United States more than the other countries, but also in the areas of the geopolitics, the world economies, and the education, the media, and the religious, and the culture. And all levels of the society, including the family, community, cities, and the nation. While there are the reasons of the despair, there is also great potential for a wide range of opportunities to emerge for new ways of the envisioning our common life together as a global family with innovative ideas and human development. Ladies and gentlemen, dear brother and sister, I wanted to give information about my country. I'm now at the European, the Netherlands, but my native motherland is Myanmar. Myanmar now faces many political conflicts. After 1 year of the military coup, everywhere, every place, shooting, bombing, and killing each other. We are the faces of violence and the terrorists. So the global my friends, especially the Buddhist organizations and other the interfaith organizations, please pray for Myanmar. Please surround the Myanmar. Because Myanmar depends on the political situation. Not only the military, but also the revolutionary. All are they fighting each other. No peace. No one the security in Myanmar. Oh, everywhere, everywhere. And stay there. During the military coup, 1 year, everywhere. Military and the revolutionary, so-called the Burmese spring revolution. The first, please, 1 minute or 2 minutes. 1 minute or the 2 minutes. Everybody that needs to surround it with the Myanmar to peace and the reconciliation. We must be the establish the peace and the reconciliation for the war, not only the Myanmar but also in the global area. So I really request you all, my friends, every day, my friends, our the country. Myanmar is now in the brink of the multiple conflicts. That's why the break about the union, especially our the Buddhist threatens by the terrorist organization and the violence organization. So, dear brother and sister, let me conclude. Please speak out about the Myanmar Buddhist monk. Whoever never speak out in the terrorist issue, please stop the violence in Myanmar and the global area. We all want to show people also war essence of the law. Buddha teaches to the understanding, realize we need to the speak out, stop the violence everywhere, every place, including the Myanmar. Thank you. You are the pay attention to the interfaith dialogue harmony. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Venerable Dr. Shovi. Thank you so much. And it is very important that we should fight against the violence, and we should bring the peace on this through our spiritual practices, whatever religion that we are practicing. Now I will request the Reverend Peter Cook to please take over as the next speaker, and he serves as the executive director of the New York State Council of Churches, which represents 7,000 congregations across the state of New York. He was ordained in the United Church of Christ. He also served as the first congregation of the churches. So I request Reverend Peter Cook. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that introduction. And it's my pleasure to join all of you for this conversation and reflection that focuses on interfaith harmony. In the fall of 2018, I led a group of Christians to India. It was our hope and intention to spend 2 weeks in India to meet people of different faiths in an attempt to learn more about the country and to build goodwill and harmony. Unfortunately, 9 of us were heavily interrogated by Indian immigration officials at the airport because we were Christians, and we therefore never made it through airport security. All of us were sent back on the next flight out of India to the United States, never making it into the country. This rude encounter for me highlighted the Indian government's intense fear of Christian witness. Even the presence of more Christians challenges the government's adherence to caste and serves to undermine the government's quest for a Hindu nationalist state, which denies the rights not only of Christians, but Muslims, Buddhists, Sikhs, Dalits, and many others. I must admit that this very traumatic experience of exclusion opened my eyes to how all countries, including the United States and India, can abuse religion and use it as a cover to further exclusivism and an unbridled quest for power. So many times in this world, we confuse religious nationalism, whether it is expressed through Hinduism, Islam, Judaism, Christianity, or Buddhism, with the true essence of all these faiths, which focus not on exclusivism, but on love, understanding, and harmony. As we participate in interfaith dialogue of any kind, it is our duty as people of faith to allow for a freedom of religious expression and be ever aware of how we must never allow any religion to offer a cover for the abuse of human rights. We should always be suspicious of any government which uses religion to advance their power, further wealth inequality, or hinder true democracy. Today, we remember the witness of Thich Nhat Hanh and Desmond Tutu, who refused to allow dialogue among people of different faiths and nationalities to become a cover for discrimination. Our words of reconciliation and love cannot be divorced from people of all faiths, clearly recognizing authoritarianism wherever it appears and work together to stop injustice, which hinders human flourishing. Desmond Tutu often spoke of the idea of Ubuntu, which points to the essence of being human, where we realize that my humanity is caught up, inextricably bound up in yours. We belong in a bundle of life. We say a person is a person through other persons. A person with Ubuntu is open and available to others, affirming of others, does not feel threatened that others are able and good, for he or she has a proper self-assurance that comes from knowing that he or she belongs in a greater whole and is diminished when others are humiliated or diminished, when others are tortured or oppressed, or treated as if they were less than who they are. May we embrace the spirit of Ubuntu and counter religious nationalism in all its forms so that people around the world may be fully human.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend. Such a straightforward and very clear message against the discrimination and religious atrocities in the name of political power. Thank you so much, and for your very, very frank opinion. I hope that everybody appreciate this point of view. Very, very important interfaith. Now I request next speaker, Reverend Doyeon Park, who is a communion, literally meaning one who devotes oneself to teach Buddha Dhamma in the Won Buddhist tradition. She served as a minister of the Manhattan Won Buddhist Temple and representative of Won Buddhism at the United Nations since 2008. So I request Reverend. Thank you.
Hello, greetings of peace to you all. First of all, thank you, Venerable Dr. Nakagaki, for bringing us together as you always do wonderfully. And we are here together, joining one another in celebration of World Interfaith Harmony Week. And it's my honor and joy to share a short reflection and prayer from Won Buddhism. And with today's advanced technology, the world is getting smaller. We can get to and from more places than ever before. The internet, social media, smartphone, tablets, everything that changes the way we communicate with one another. And when we change communication, we change relationships, and then that changes our lives. So I think it's very critical to understand and see how we communicate and how we exchange information. So again, we are widely exposed to diversity, and it's not limited to the internet world, meaning that we encounter people from various cultural, social, and religious backgrounds on a daily basis in our workplace, on the street, or at a program like this today. So we are from all over the world, bringing different traditions. And throughout human history, we have seen how mistrust and misunderstanding, especially among people of faith, can destroy an individual, society, and country. So there is an urgent need for us to, especially for people of faith like us, to work together to overcome misunderstanding and to transform bias, discrimination, and violence into harmony, respect, and peace. And I'm sure you already know this, but once again, I would like to remind all of us that interfaith harmony is not an option, but a necessity. And I believe our respective traditions have wisdom and practice to guide people for love and harmony. So please now you join me a short prayer. Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace. How grateful we are to be here together to share this moment. With each breath, may we feel one another's presence and peaceful support. May we take a moment to appreciate sisters and brothers from various faith communities for their ceaseless work to bring peace and harmony by nurturing our mind, body, and spirit. May we all come together to help and support one another by realizing that we cannot get over any difficulties without collective efforts. May we deepen our spiritual cultivation so that we can transform delusion into wisdom, greed into generosity, resentment into gratitude, discord into harmony, and hatred into love. In this time of confusion and desperation, may we bring the healing power of mindfulness, wisdom, love, and compassion. And may we remember that we are all in this together as sisters and brothers in faith. Whatever our hands touch, wherever our feet reach, wherever our voice resound, whatever our minds wish, may all that lead us to peace and harmony. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Such a powerful prayers, Reverend. And the fact that we require interfaith is not an option, but interfaith is a necessity of the hour. Now I'll call upon the next speaker, Rabbi Oleg Levinsky, a degree in teaching and master's degree in electrical electronics engineering, but he is now chairman of the People and Good Deeds organization. He's working for the interfaith, and I request Oleg Levinsky to please take over. Thank you so much.
And good evening to everyone. I'm very happy to be here. You know, Thomas Paine once said that these are the times that try men's souls, and they are trying ours now. We live now in the generations that most people don't understand what to expect from tomorrow, how to planning their future. We see the growth of extremism in politics and religion. Is always influenced on by anxiety, uncertainty, and fear of a world that's changing. So in such difficult and controversial times, very important to give to people hope and faith. We in our organization make a lot of activities for the different people to give them helping and ability to serve it. And the most of people now always under the pressure, no ability to influence on situation. And they don't understand how to build their future and what to do in that. And a lot of people talk about the religion, but we live in age, in generations that the big religion is, selfie. It's a big religion. A lot of people believe in it. I don't think it's bad because it's represent yourself as liberating and empowering, but we are social animals, you know. We need the interaction. And this interaction says that people have to talk, to help each other, to make handshake, to bring somebody else to feel much more better. So we also work on it by giving courses for children, money help to hard social family. In the Jewish tradition, the main place take social values such as justice, human dignity, and concern for the rights of the weak. Depend on these values, I believe that we can face any future without fear, so long as we know that we not face it alone. So let's give the light and face in tomorrow, each of us in our own way, by prayer and joy activities. And important thing, not ignoring injustice, that we see that injustice is increasing all the world. So thank you so much, and God bless all of you, and let's make the world better. Good evening, people.
Thank you so much for your beautiful opinions and words and blessings for all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Greetings. Sat Sri Akal. Ram Ram, Salam, Shalom, whatever the tradition may be. What we are called God, known by different names in different ways, but its reality is the same. Or if we don't believe in it, it's still the same reality. Behind me is the Golden Temple, which is popularly, actually is called, a Sikh name for that is House of God. It has 4 doors and it's surrounded by a lake. It's like a lotus flower in the mud lake showing up. This is the style of life, Sahaj, or the sense of equipoise to live our lives in the world. While doing that, our actions speak louder than the words. According to Guru Nanak, we must not leave the world, but stay in the world, but not off the world, and devote our all energies, whatever faith we may have, by sticking to that, while with exalted spirits, work toward the common good of all people, irrespective of faith, gender, socioeconomic status, or what have you. Because we need to facilitate and practice and live peaceful coexistence so that everyone can achieve their fullest potential. So I pray to our Creator, whatever you may want to call him, please keep our minds, eyes, ears, all, mold us, our spirits, to work toward the common good. Nanak naam chardi kala, tere phane sarvada phala. Vaheguru ji ka khalsa, Vaheguru ji ki fateh. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And this is very truly, you said that the common good is the only way to make humanity survive on this planet and for our next generation, and in the bright future, that safe future that we should have. So once again, thank you so much, all the speakers, and Reverend, I will ask Venerable Ajahn Ratna to please, who's the president of Sanghakaya Foundation, international peace activist, and has conducted 4 international Buddhist conferences for peace and solidarity in India and 1 in Bangkok, Thailand. So he visited many countries and spread the Buddha's message all over the world. And it works in Asia, Europe, and many countries. So I request Bhante Kishor Ukey for the closing remark. Reverend Monk.
Yes, Milind, can you hear me?
Yes, we can see you and hear you as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. First of all, thank you, everyone. I listen all of your speeches, and it is very valuable, and it's really feels so connected. And I especially give thanks to the Venerable Nakagaki, who organized such a good program on interfaith. So I just want to share some words. Actually, we are working for the interfaith, and Milind is also the part of that interfaith program in Mumbai. So we all connected all the religious leader on one platform, and we are trying to organize some peace dialogue, and we are trying to promote the peace values in our India as well as across the world. And most important thing, nowadays our organization is working for the charity. We are helping a lot to the people in India, but irrespective of any religion, caste, and race and colors. So we are helping a lot to the other people. So, and the Buddha himself, he told to us, everyone, to be a compassionate to everyone. And Buddha himself, he was a very compassionate person. If we follow his value, like to be a compassionate, so it's quite enough to become a good human being. And compassion, I think it's not a belong to particular sects or the religion. Compassion, it's a universal word. So that's why His Holiness Dalai Lama always tell to us, compassion is my religion. So I think we should practice the compassion irrespective of any caste, race, and religion. And we can become a true religious person when we really practice the compassion. And I can also say the compassion is my religion. Our great leader from India, Bodhisattva Dr. Ambedkar, he also, when he gave 22 oaths, so he also asked to his devotees, his followers, to be a good hearted, like a compassionate person. So this is my small suggestion and small advice to become a compassionate and to become a good human being. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reverend, for such a wonderful and compassionate message and the blessings to all of us. Thank you so much. So now I'll request Dr. P.R. Ratan Maharanjan for the vote of thanks, because we are now closing this wonderful meeting on the interfaith, and I hope that we all have received, taken in the good spirit the entire proceedings. Thanks so much. Dr. P.R. Ratan is the General Secretary of International Buddhist Organization Center, IBC at Nepal chapter. He's a social and there is introduction has been cut off. So anyway, so he is the Buddhist Secretary General of the IBC Nepal. I request Dr. P.R. Ratan.
Thank you very much, Milind Kishor, for your wonderful moderation, moderating today the sessions. And Namam Buddha Mahajan from Kathmandu, Nepal. And I'm very happy representing Nepal as the Nepal, the communist birthday of the Buddha, and is a member of the peace, collaborating with different and working with TK, Dr. Nakagaki, and myself is having discussed for the past few months to come out to today's event. And thank you very much again for our all organizations and individuals and all the leaders that represented coming to this great event of celebrating the World Interfaith Harmony Weeks. And I have been seeing Guruji, Dileepkumar is having wonderful celebrations coming up. So we have to join him again in his sessions, and it's a festival, that's we have to celebrate, and we all look forward to having that, and especially Venerable Dr. Sobhita, who is the chairperson of the Buddhist Education Center, and Venerable Wei Kwang, who is the chairman of Bodhisattva Vihara. Unfortunately, today is the Chinese New Year, so he could not attend. So I am representing even Bodhisattva Vihara on behalf of him, and I thank you everybody, especially Guruji, Dileepkumar, Reverend Doyeon, and Dr. Venerable Sobhita, Venerable Ajahn Prasad Gautamji, and our representing Kripal Singh, and our Dr. Remy, Gita Po, Kwan Asari Ajol Chris, and Kalyani Sarangi, and Tara Devi, and also our friend Om Shanti Cicely, and Sunita Zamgade, and Dr. Joe David, and Chris Beher, and all the brothers and sisters, and the Father Peter Cook, which I heard in situation that he has left India, but hope that this is not the same situation is now to India. I think we welcome you again warm-heartedly, and the situation is different, and we are here with you to welcome you again to the land of peace in India, and also neighbor is the land of peace, Nepal. And thank you very much for all our great leaders, spiritual leaders, interfaith leaders from around the world having this very peaceful evening, and good morning and good afternoon to you. See you again next year, same time, to have again celebrate even bigger as it's a World Interfaith Harmony Week. Thank you very much again for everyone.
Thank you.
And namaste.
So Guruji will conclude this meeting, and Nakagaki, Venerable, please conclude.
Yeah, okay. So can you see me okay?
Yes.
And good morning and good afternoon to you. See you again next year, same time, to have again celebrate even bigger as it's a World Interfaith Harmony Week. Thank you very much again for everyone.
Thank you.
And namaste.
So, well, thank you again for all the wonderful speakers and all the organizational support. And then also, the Guruji, our friend, good friend for a long time. And it was nice that his energy can bring all of the people too. So in a way, we are giving energy each other. I mean, sometimes, some people try to save the energy for yourself, but actually if you give, you can get more energy together sharing. So I think one of the way of compassion works as a giving. So as we do selfless giving, then the many people get that benefit, and then those people also give the selfless giving, then everybody somehow get the benefit out of it. So it's actually great, Guruji, again, give your wonderful energy to everyone, and so I appreciate it very much. And so Guruji, maybe you should give the last words, and thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. It is a beautiful event. I felt really uplifting event today. The last, this is the third day we are putting Interfaith Harmony Week event. Is going to end on 7th. Then we'll continue this event until February 28th. That will be our final gala with all the religious leaders and spiritual leaders from different countries, and diplomats and the UN officials, political leaders is going to happen. So I'm glad I'm seeing some of my colleagues from the UN CR NGOs, Reverend Doyeon and Kripal Singh, Priya Ratna, and Venerable from India, Chris Behari, and I see Remy Alapo and Joe Blair from the Interfaith Center, over 20 years of relationship with that center. And I want to congratulate Milind Ukey from India, being our moderator today. I didn't see when we said the thank you, I didn't hear the name.
Yeah,
but
that's good.
especially say thank you to him, because he saved our time.
Yeah, he did a very wonderful job to save the time. And also, maybe I should mention that James ringing the bell. So I don't want to get the brain, but James is the one who
put this for people on the screen, because I want to thank Reverend James Lynch too, because that timing for the bell, without saying anything, it made it everything on time. That's beautiful. And I want to say something. Just think about the chaos going on around the globe. People are upset and going through hardship because of the corona situation and the lack of leadership, spiritual leadership through our leaders, those who in a political field. We need a change around the globe. So we had to work hard, double, triple, work hard, really. And I was attending a program last day in Queens. 2 police officers killed by guy just shot on his head, their head. You know, people don't know how to react each moment. They are losing their mind actually. There's a very hard time going on. So we religious leaders or spiritual leaders supposed to take care of our people.
Yes.
We have to reach out to. Yeah, I'm hearing our great voice from Queen Mother Belekli from the UN. Queen Mother, please join tomorrow. You are going to speak. Okay.
Blessings upon you. Blessings upon you.
Yeah, I see a lot of wonderful names too. So I hope you can speak to it.
Over 800 people watched today's program. I am so happy that we did a partnership event. This is the way we build up. We bring people from different faiths and in a harmonious way. Last some years, I am partnering with TK Nakagaki in different events, not only interfaith, peace, and different Hiroshima, Nagasaki events, like a different events, you know. It is so beautiful to come together and exchange our energy in a common cause. This is very important. So we'll continue our work. We work hard. Thank you, everyone. It was wonderful for me to host. It's a great blessing to host this event with you all and be part of it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. James, do you want to ring the big bell?
Thank you, Guruji.
At the very end.
Thank you so much.
He didn't
thank
have
you very much, James.
I will ring as we go.
Okay.
The organizing is a very
Thank you.
to the World
Great.
Interfaith Harmony Day. We must be joined together, cooperation with more and more, in the future. Anybody, if you wanna do the business there, Europe, please join me. I will. And the Myanmar also, Myanmar, Netherlands, Nepal, we will be the founders of International Buddhist Education Center, now organized by Dr. Pia Yerana from the Nepal, Secretary of the IBEC, General Secretary. Okay, thank you, sir. Most venerable
Thank you very much. Yeah, namaste.
Thank you very much for everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, James.
Thank you. Thank you. Please be safe, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Good job, Reverend Nagasaki.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Very
Thank
nice.
you for taking care of the Sikh part. Yeah, appreciate it very much.
Everything
Anytime.
Thank you. Meant to be, you know.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Yeah, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Have a good day. Enjoy. Have a nice week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.